welcome back to Plannercraft. I'm Natalie and today we're going to be assembling the wreath. So if you've been watching the previous two parts, you'll have seen how to cut your pieces, how to create a mount on which we're going to be adhering all of our pieces, and today we're going to be focusing on assembling and maybe a little bit of shaping and also some inking. So before I go too far, do you want to do hellos?
I will when I get some.
Alright, okay.
Deb says morning.
Morning, Deb.
Carol says morning.
Morning.
Tracy says hi.
Hi, Tracy.
David says morning.
Morning. Okay. So, hope you grabbed yourself a cuppa, got your pieces in front of you, and we can get started. So, I've divided all my elements up into their individual piles, and I thought I could do a little bit of shaping with them as well, just so that they're not all totally flat when I come to stick them onto our mount.
Emma says hello too.
Hi Emma! Hope you're feeling good today. So, I've painted my mount with just some acrylic paint, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I didn't even gesso it before I painted it, so it's just literally bare bones, and it's just covered just in case there are any bits that pop out. Now, as you know, there are also some other leaves that I've scanned in and put as cut files, and you don't see them here. That's because I can't show you them yet. So keep an eye out for when this roof appears, and you'll be able to see the stamped leaves as well. So, without too much further ado, let's get a shaping tool. So I'm going to be working with a large embossing tool, and we can actually start to shape our leaves. Now I'm working from the back, just because when we're actually embossing, you can get a bit of a shiny effect, and we'd rather keep that on the back and leave our front of our leaves nice and flat.
Emma says she feels like she could run a marathon, so she's all good there.
Cool.
Says, am I glad you're feeling better now? Your mum says morning.
I wouldn't necessarily go as far as saying I'm feeling better. I've got your headache, haven't I, dear?
Yeah.
So Mr. finally fixes and he gives it to me instead. He's so generous. Okay, so I've just basically embossed a circle in the flat section of the leaf. So now I'm going to flip that over. Now if you want to have this very tip of the leaf curling back upwards, I would suggest doing that between the thumb and the forefinger, and just give it a little shape, like so. I know, me and gloves, they just don't want to stay put, do they? So we can then go like that. Now your next decision you have to make is if you want to emphasise that shape using some ink. So you can use distress inks, distress oxides, and a blending brush, or sponges, whichever you feel more comfortable using. So I have to my side, as you do, some inks. So I have crackling camphor, spice marmalade, walnut stain, rustic wilderness, which is going to be good for our dark green, and also peeled paint, which is going to be good for our light greens. Yeah, hiding the picket fence. I haven't even labelled it yet, let alone played with it. Okay, so now I'm going to get my blending brush. Now this is going to be interesting with gloves. My hands are a bit sore, so I've had to put some hand cream on, and I don't really want it to go onto what I'm doing, so it's a case of having to do it in gloves. Which means the gloves are going to get inky, but we can live with that, can't we, dear?
We can wash the gloves. Joyce says good morning.
Morning, Joyce.
No need to apologise for running in late.
You know what it is, she's still excited. Okay, so you can do this either before or after you shape your leaves. So while I'm here, I might as well do this flat one.
A little bit, if you keep it towards the middle of the edge of the circle, that's
Okay.
centre screw.
And then you always want to put a bit more colour down towards the base of the leaf. Okay, so while I'm here, I'll do the other yellow leaves that we've got. Told you they'd end up inky. There we go. So a bit more on the stem.
Oh, Carol.
What's Carol done?
She was cutting a load of wood yesterday and dropped the electric saw, so he stopped spinning before he hit my leg.
Ooh!
She had a lovely bruise instead of missing a leg.
Oof. Well, yeah. Yeah. This DIY and craft business is a dangerous business, isn't it, Mum? So, always take full safety precautions with whatever you are working with.
Somebody else to do it.
Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit to our acorn, which is going to make it look rounder than it actually
no.
is. What?
Corin got made redundant yesterday.
Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that.
And Louise has just joined us.
Hi, Louise.
Karen wants to know if your mum's been hurting herself as well.
Mum, we had an accident a while back, didn't she? And I won't go into too many details because it could be a trigger for some people, but yeah, it's a good job I'm good at my first aid. That's what I would say, hey Mum?
And Linda's vinyl blade is due to arrive today between 11 and 12.
Yay! I got asked a question kind of asked a question, and I'm going to be doing a comparison between the foil quill and the Brother Foiding kit tomorrow, so that you can see the difference. Okay, so I've done all the marmalade pieces. Now we can go to walnut stain.
And Joyce has even managed to pick up 3 new water blades, so they're ready to play.
Cool. That should last you a while.
Corinne says, never mind, more time for scan and cut this money.
Yep. Yeah, make it earn its keep. That would be my tip. One way or another. Whether that's selling stickers or...
What have we missed this week so far? We saw Tuesdays. So yesterday I did a design one on canvas, creating the base piece that you can see that Natalie has here. It wasn't that particular one because that was laser cut for her from some grey board. But I went through
how you did it.
sort of how the design process, so I went through different ways, different designs you can make in canvas, didn't I?
Yes, so if you want to do a decorative border, it's a good one to go back and watch. Just thinking what else you did. Let's go to the dark greens next. So I'm using Rustic Wilderness. You did subtraction, didn't you?
I did subtraction, yeah.
offsetting.
Yeah.
So if those are things that you haven't done yet in Canvas, that might be a good one for you to catch up on.
Yeah, windings, yes. We were using windings to make borders. So we had a watering can and some flowers all the way around our... Thank you, Carol, yes.
Okay, so I want to keep my lighter ones to use for my pill paint.
Yeah. Also, not knowing if people have noticed, we've set a new link up for buying the
Foil shield.
foil shield and the
2 workshops.
2 workshops. So it now goes through a company called Summer. So the only thing I will say is if you do go on there for the foil shield, please make sure you select the right kit because it comes up with a price of £5.50, which is just for one of the
Inserts.
But there's a drop down option on it, and if you drop down to the bottom, there's the 3 sets at the bottom. So just make sure you select the right set that you want to buy. Otherwise it's going to get confusing. For some reason it won't let me put the other ones at the top, which is what I prefer it to do, but it's just one of those things.
Yeah, you're still learning with it, aren't you? And that's probably where most physical items are going to end up going, and probably workshops too. Digital items will
still leave to
buy me a coffee, and the membership will still be on buy me a coffee. Just because it's easier to work it that way. So I'm just going to do this last little leaf here. It just works out slightly better in terms of fees and things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
It's the only problem with Buy Me a Coffee is that you pay twice on the fees.
yeah.
So Buy Me a Coffee charge you something, and then PayPal charge you for taking their cut as well, or processing it. So you end up paying twice. As where with some we just pay once and it just goes straight through. So it's much easier for us. Hopefully that saves us a little bit on fees. It makes no difference to you lot, but you still pay the same, which means we pay a little bit less.
Okay, so this is using the peel paint now.
I'm not mumbling.
Is that Carol? What's he like? Okay.
That's probably where the microphone is, because it's pointing away from me with a glass block in the way. So.
What if you will stick it to a stamp platform? I knew.
It was me
Yeah, he does need his own microphone, but yeah, that's going to be for a while, isn't it? Because
there's a buzzing.
there's a buzzing.
Picking up a buzzing.
No. Has it stopped now?
Or is it just me?
Well, I was just wondering because I've just turned the glue gun off.
No.
No. Okay. Don't know what it could be picking up interference from. Because it's not by anything electrical over there, is it? We've not got the fan on.
The scan cut's not even on.
Yeah.
I think it could be that one, but if that's not on, it's not that one, is it?
Nope. I don't know. I don't know what it could be picking up. I mean, it should be pretty much insulated from everything at the moment because it's got a big pile of card shoved in front of it. Okay. So you want to work through your leaves, give them a good shape.
It could be a grass cutting outside. No, I can hear it, but talk over it, it's okay. No, it's no, I can still hear it, but it's okay. Blame Facebook.
Yeah, I think I will blame Facebook because there's nothing, is there? So with these ones, I'm just going to literally go from this point here and work out like a fan, because that's naturally the way that the veins would go anyway. And you're going to get a bit of curl in your leaf without too much work. If you go for a larger ball tool rather than a smaller one, you're going to get a neater finish. If you want to put detail in it, however, you can go to a smaller one, so you'll actually see the strokes that you make. Yep. So, very quickly do these. Like so. And of course our detailed ones you're going to want to leave as it is. With our acorns, we can turn them over, and again just do it on that little oval section that we've got at the back, so that it kind of curls when we glue it on. Hopefully you can see that okay. You're not telling me that you can't answer.
Yeah, that's fine. I picked a dried hydrangea heads to use.
Ooh, hang on.
Picked a dried, sorry, hydrangea heads to use.
That sounds funky.
And Joe says, I think this will be a first good subject for me to make when my machine arrives.
Yep.
It is, it's a good one, isn't it? Because it's all using basic shapes. There's nothing on there that you need the computer for. It's all.
And it's a good one to practice the actual functions, so like doing your grouping, your welding and all the rest of it, so that you can actually resize. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to lay out my elements, but what I want to do is actually space them out around before I actually adhere anything, so I can decide what's going where, which way it's pointing. And I think with that one I'll probably put that dangling down. So what I'm going to do is just put that one inside, so that we've got something that looks like that. So if you want to take screenshots at any point, you're welcome to do so. And I'm going to go with my biggest item first. So in this case it's these sets of 3 leaves, and we can work out where that's going to go. And then to go with that, I'm going to put an equal and opposite, even if the colours don't match.
Is this where press and seal comes in handy?
Yes. Yep, if you got your press and seal, it's a very, very good point to be using it.
Could you also use some transfer tape?
You could use some low tack transfer tape. So you won't want to use the high tack one that you use for like your glitter vinyls and things like that, but a nice low tack one.
Maybe a piece that's been used a couple of times.
Yeah, that's starting to lose its tack, and you've got just enough stick to actually lift it up. And you could use that too. The other thing to do, if you haven't got anything like that in your stash, is use your phone and take a picture when you are happy with your layout. So I'm going to use two smaller elements in here. I'm going to go a bit like that. So I've kind of got my centerpiece plan, so then from then on in it's nice and easy to go. Well, this one is going to go somewhere over here, that one can go somewhere over there, and because we've done 5 of everything, it becomes that we can actually start to go, okay, you can divide that circle up into 5 and then rotate that 5 around, if that makes sense. So this one can go down there, and I might go for another one of those there. And this might be where we start to introduce some of our hollow leaves to actually put around our shape. And you're going to... It's one of those where you can get a bit carried away. So what I'm going to do is I'm just starting to think about when these things start to move inwards to fit, do I need to put anything else in to kind of pad it out? So I think we're going to have to put in a light green up here. So these aren't necessarily in the order that they're going to be stuck at this point. So it might be that we want to put our acorns on top and push our leaves to the back, or it might be that you want to keep your leaves on top and push the acorns to the back. The choice is yours. There is no right or wrong.
And it's also important to say that you don't have to use everything you've cut, do you?
No, no. If you get to a point and you think that's enough, then stop. So you don't ruin it. And the whole point of painting your wreath is that if you get to a point and you think, oh, I've run out, then just move it around a little bit, because it won't hurt that you've got elements that are actually visible through to your wreath because you've done that painting. So likewise we want to put a leaf there, and we'll put another one up here. Now if when you're cutting your pieces out you want to do some that are flipped around so that you can do a perfect mirror angle, then what I would say is make one, decide which pieces you like, and then make another one with them all mirrored and perfectly placed.
Yeah, I often sound that sometimes less is more. Don't I?
You do, so does my mum.
Frequently tell them.
My mum can tell you what I usually say in an answer. Love you, Mum. So I think that one's probably going to go out that way, maybe. And then we could do with something dark green. That's going to come over here. Then I might do a little dangle with this one. So what we can actually do is stick leaves to one another. So if I move that up a bit, so that you can actually start to create a bit of a dangle. And I might even put that somewhere else, like up that top section there. And then our acorn can go up there like that.
There is something that tends to be restrained. The problem is knowing when to stop tracing. And your mum says less is more. The answer is
Yep, that's my usual answer. Am I cheeky? Okay, so at this point, this is where you would apply your press and seal, or if you've got your transfer tape, if you've got like contact paper that you have well and truly de-stuck from doing other transfer bits and pieces, you could use some of that. Or you can just take your picture. Do you think I should get you to take a picture, Ian? Not with that one.
You're not using this one.
Wait, no. No, I'm gonna stick with what I've got. Thank you. Okay, so now I have a picture in front of me that I can use. I can start to move things off. Now I tend to do this in sections so that I can go, that's the side section, this side section, this bit can come down to the bottom.
And Christina is Nat's mum.
Joyce.
She asked if it was Louise.
No.
Oh, that turns off your light. Does that stop the hum, just out of interest?
Yeah, just out of interest, does that stop the background noise? Because if so, it's my light finally dying. Okay. So, glue gun. Let's start this up. As it can preheat. Doesn't take very long. I think Louise is probably about the same age as me. Or thereabouts.
I don't know.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of bits of glue straight onto my mount so that I can work straight into it.
No, still humming. Okay.
Okay, wasn't that?
Do you want to turn your light off? Because I can't.
Okay, I'll do it in a minute. And
No, it doesn't
on.
Just a thought.
Like so. So now you can get the choice of working above or below. So I'm going to just pop a bit of glue onto the back of this stem here. And I'm going to actually go below.
Louise thinks she might be a little bit older. And loves the glue gun. The glue gun was a good buy, wasn't it?
Yeah, the glue gun is a cracking buy.
We got it from Audi? Little.
One or the other. We always get them mixed up, don't we?
Little
Okay.
one is the one. Little is the one this side, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
yeah. From Little when they had them in at a great price. You can still get them off Amazon or eBay, sorry, I think. The only thing we will say is make sure you use the glue sticks that come with them,
Yeah.
because they tend not to like any other glue sticks. So you are restricted to the glue sticks you get with them. I got a link for the glue gun in.
You probably could have.
Bear with me, I'll have a link.
There are similar ones on Amazon that use the shorter glue sticks. So if you like the format, you can get them, but they use like little mini glue sticks.
Is it eBay? You could get it.
So I'm just going to slide that in there. Like so. And again, slide. Oop. Gotta love working with gloves sometimes. There we go, so that can go in there. Then we can start to work down our two sides. Now what I would recommend doing is try and do it bit by bit, so you're going this side, this side, this side, this side, rather than trying to do one side here to then do one side there and it end up a bit off kilter if you're going for something that is quite symmetrical.
Find the glue sticks for me.
That's good because I'm going to use it all.
Get to find the glue. Give me a sec.
So this first one's going to go there and slightly out to the side. And we'll do the same again. So a little bit of glue. Has a little release button that will push some more glue through, so rather than it having to be a big squeeze, it just literally does the hard work for you. So next, it looks like our green leaf goes this side. Again, a little bit on the stem, slide it underneath, like so. And I'm going to try and follow this curve around here. So it's going to go there. And we can do the same on this side so that we keep it symmetrical as much as possible. Now obviously these do vary in size slightly, much like they would in nature. So you try and get it as close to, but it's not going to be necessarily exact. That's going to go that way, and again I'm going to focus on this outside shape here, so we're still keeping that kind of circular aspect going through. Now we can go back over to this side and do our next. Now if you're really enjoying this and you want to do a wreath workshop with me for Christmas, then let me know, as we do have a Christmas wreath
The link
workshop.
I've just put up is a eBay link for one that I found. I haven't found it on Amazon, so I would have to go. That's probably the best one for you at the moment. There's a couple on there with a similar ones. There you go. So it's the back side of me.
So this one's going to get stuck right under our
Who said you said the C word?
sorry. But it's on its way. Now originally I was going to do the first of the Christmas villages tomorrow, wasn't I? So you skipped one anyway, Louisa.
What's it worth? It costs over here $34.95, so about £35 roughly.
I'm going to just push that up under there, just so I can try and match what we've got here. So it's got a very slight turn out, so I'm just going to move that around there. If anything lifts or unsticks, don't be afraid to just pop your glue gun underneath and apply a bit more glue for it to stick back to. Okay, so now we're ready for our next acorn. And this one again, it's going to go underneath this one. I'm going to take it over the top of our light green leaf here. And on this side we're going to do the same, so underneath our leaf, like so. And I still want it to try and have that kind of angle. Now follow your middle point and just make sure that nothing has shifted too much. So I do want this one to move very slightly if it will let me. May not do. It's just being awkward.
Stay there.
Yeah, it can stay there. Okay, so with our bottom section we have this little drop down bit. So you're going to want to do the drop down section first. So we had our orange leaf at the bottom, which then stuck to our green leaf. So get that up the right way for your inking.
Tracy wants to know if we have a plan to where we're going to put this in the house.
It is probably going to go up by the door, to be honest, because we already have a little bunch of lovely rose goldy coppery wreaths that we've done, haven't we? So if you have a look at the silhouette blog post, you will see those in the background. So I did an autumn banner that we've currently wrapped around those two. Okay, so I'm going to pop a little bit of glue onto our wreath.
So are you selling this one? Ah, somebody wants it.
Yeah, we'll sell anything if somebody wants to pay for it. Same with all the cards that we make, really, isn't it? Because we drown in samples otherwise.
What do you mean otherwise? We are drowning in samples.
So with this next piece, I'm going to come out to the side here. So again, I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on there, and we can work straight into that. A bit more on top, and it doesn't take very much glue at all for doing these, to be honest. So, and there's our leaf sections. Now, because we know this is going to go on the very top, we're going to leave that to last, so then we can concentrate on doing these leaf sections first. Now let's get that round the right way, always helps. And we could do a bit more glue.
You should do a bulk sale that you do for extra supplies that you sell sometimes.
Yeah, well, we currently have on the Buy Me a Coffee some goodie bags. So if you fancy a little bit of a surprise coming in the post, then purchase those. Ian goes through and picks out what to put in each one, don't you?
Joe says she's born and bred South Yorkshire law, but wouldn't go back for a pension.
Okay, so I'm going to pop a little bit of glue just in the middle, and then I'm going to use the detail on my leaf to cover it up, if that makes sense. Because if you try and apply the glue to something that is as thin as this, then you're probably not going to get it where you need to. So I'm just going to gently tap that down in place, and there we go. And I might just curl that back round, because it looks quite nice there how it's kind of curling, so let's give that little bit of a curl. Okay, ta-da! And turn off the glue gun and let that cool down. So I keep mine in a glass jar so I don't have to worry about where I'm putting it while it's cooling off. Hey, that wasn't bad, was it? I'm getting better at this, at timing myself and larky.
Are those little nuts things like the ones from Snuggle Pot and Cuddle Play books?
No idea. Don't think we have those over here. I'm going to have to look that one up.
Yes, some of their acorns, okay.
So let me see if I can get that on screen a bit better so that you can see all of it. In actual fact, because we know it's going to go on a grey wall anyway if it goes up on our wall. There we go.
Yeah.
You can see it nice full.
I'm missing some comments there.
Let me move it that way, away from the chat then. So, do excuse the mess on my desk. I'm currently mid DT splurges and that, so I'm making more samples than I know what to do with. Oh, thank you, Mummy.
Carol says
Thanks, Carol.
20 minutes to kill you.
And thanks, Louise. So, are there any questions or things that you might be struggling with before we go for today? So tomorrow, as I said, we'll be doing the foil quill versus the rubber foiling kit, and yes, we actually have a foiling kit here. Finally. Yep, I've been doing lots of autumn projects this week, haven't I? So hence all the inks are out on my desk, and we're doing lots of bright and colourful autumn rather than depressing. Especially given how lovely and summery it's been here.
Joyce, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Thank you, Joyce. Come on, Louise, you can't avoid foiling forever. You're on the DT. Won't happen. You call it spring or fall there. It's currently autumn. We're in the UK, so to us it's autumn rather than fall.
There's bat school, and Deb says lovely colours.
So as we get more into October, I'll start doing more spooky bits and pieces there. That you can see how we can also grunge it up a bit with a scanning cut, because otherwise I think things can look a bit clean and precise, can't they? Like, this is lovely and clean. And then when we start to get...
America is fall, yeah. The Americans call it fall, yeah.
Yeah. So I was talking yesterday about Thanksgiving. It's the day before your birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks,
We don't really do
Corinne.
Thanksgiving, do we?
No, we don't have here in the UK. I was going to say, I'm sure it's spring there. It's totally not spring here. Okay, so I think at that we will call it a day, and we will see you tomorrow to do foiling. So if there's a particular project you'd like to see us do for foiling, then do let me know.
Yeah,
But
we
other
get
than
to
that,
make foil shield.
yeah, we get to do the foil shield.
And my blade's just arrived and says my new STX mat. Cool.
Yay! If you are watching and you want to get an Artistics mat, please speak to us first.
Yeah, we have a 10% discount code, so please don't forget you can use that. If you've used it before, you can use it again. It doesn't expire. So if you already have the code and you're buying more mats or new mats, the code's still usable and you can use it again. If you haven't had it before, do let us know and we will give you the code that you can use.
And if you'd like to buy the wreath, drop me a message. Or likewise, if you see a project that we do and you want something like it, then again, you can let us know and we can always personalise as well.
Shiny eye struggle with glitter.
Okay, we'll do it in little steps then, Louise. We'll go from grunge to maybe a little bit of patina wax to get a little bit of sparkle. Then we'll go into a bit of metallic paint. Then, you know, we'll edge into
Foil
the
doesn't
glitter.
have to be shiny. I mean, we have our gunmetal one, which is really cool. It's quite a dark colour.
Yeah, the gunmetal's lovely. And you can have matte foils as
And
well.
we got
which
the
are
black as
funky.
well.
And the white's matte.
Yeah. So they're not all shiny.
Okay, so we will call it a day at that, and if you need us this afternoon, you know where to find us, hopefully by now.
It's totally true. No.
We'll have to go for a drive first. I can't throw that far. Yeah, the little baby, yes. care and